Hi to everyone around the world. My name is Rufo Guerreschi. I'm Executive Director of the Trustless Computing Association and CEO and founder of its spin-off startup, Trustless AI. Cybersecurity apparently is the #2 concern of high net worth individuals. There are 60 million of them, accruing 52 trillion in assets. It's the #1 concern of family offices. There's 8,000 of them, 12 trillion in assets. It's also a very big concern for elected officials, candidates, business leaders. Nearly all of them are hackable or hacked by innumerable entities. Apparently, for people which are targeted, millions of them, there is nothing money can buy, an unmet demand. So what's the source of this paradox? If there's such a demand, why isn't there a supply? Hypercomplexity, obscurity of systems, insufficient verification. But then, is it really a technical problem? We solved exactly those problems for civil aviation, where only 1 out of 16 million flights results in an accident. But then 1.5 billion are made every year, each one hackable by many teenage hackers somewhere in Eastern Europe. So the real reason is everything is weakened by design by powerful nations because they need to prevent great crimes. So in the end, no, it seems like cybersecurity is something that you have to really live with, for rain and lightning as a collateral damage of the war on terror. Maybe not. So the solution is to build a device which is 100 times simpler than your phone in hardware, software, and supply chains. And it uses only open technologies which are battle tested and only has basic features and performance. And as a small form factor you can carry around. You have a certification body that independently, because of its democratic governance and resilience, can certify all of this, all the way down to fabrication, and also certify means by which law enforcement can come in person in Switzerland and to make a case for lawful access. We also have a supply chain which is made of partners all around the world, which is resilient even from nation-state attacks. Well, how do we get this kind of security? We have transparency of all the hardware and software, extreme level of review in relation to complexity. You have this unique oversight of citizen witnesses during fabrication. You have a citizen juries to access any of the server rooms for security reasons and even for accessing when requested by legitimate lawful access. You have the citizen juries which are accountable to this certification body. Ultimately, we have this certification body where the trust remains. We have organized events all around the world to promote the certification body, which was launched last June in Geneva. We have 120 speakers, 30 advisors, and 2 nations which are R&D partners. And so we have a lot of traction this certification body has established in the new state of the art. Nobody wants to carry an extra device, so you carry this device in a custom leather wallet, many different styles, or you have it embedded in your future phone, so you just have it in a single device. Truth out there is that even the iPhone is hackable by many cyber criminals, and many security agencies like to sustain the marketing of these companies because so criminals will use it and they can spy on them. So you have a lot of deception out there. Features, messaging, calls, social networking, crucial. The typical user will have 5 or 10 of them to have bridge and network effect. You have virtual assistant interface, private banking, crypto. You can sign and negotiate a contract, and the device acts as an authentication device to your phone. And you have a civic store. Anybody can write an app as long as it's certified, but the certification body goes in the store. Initially, we go to market with 10,000 units for the rich and famous. We go to private banks or luxury retailers, or also ultra high net worth individuals clubs. Now we're negotiating with them, especially private banks in Zurich. And after we do that, then we'll go scale by bringing the price down to sell the hardware at cost and make money off of the software. So we have a platform-based business model in the long term with apps revenue share. And this is more in detail of what we do and how the price will go down so that pretty much anyone can add this device in the end and bring freedom to everyone. Competition out there, well, most people get a plane to get the confidentiality they need, or they self-censor themselves and they lose social or business opportunities, or they buy some devices that have full control of the supply chain, but then they're way too complex. And so even if they wanted to, they couldn't eliminate all the bugs. And in other cases, there are applications which are really secure, open source, but an application can never be more secure than the device it runs on. So there's an invisible barrier where nations will never allow you to move afterward. So we moved, we started out as a research organization aggregating over 20 research partners, including 2 nation states, to build this device and the certification body. And we have now architectural docs, prototyping, done through the years, and we have built a POC device, which you can see on the website. And we had 3 asset managers from Geneva that worked closely with us as POC partners. And we organized, as we said, all these events all around the world. We had about 200K of angel investment. We were working closely from very high level at Samsung and Huawei to embed this device in the back of their future phones. So that's a pretty strong validation. We had 2 awards, top 5, and then we have very close group C-level executive engagement with private banks in Switzerland. And so now we launched the device, and now we are in the #1 cybersecurity accelerator in the US, which is finishing up now in January. So we are raising 1.5 million so that we can rebuild the prototype around the new CPU, and so also that allows us to start doing more sales, pre-sales. And we have this new certification body event that will bring more partners on board, and then in about 9 months, we believe we could close a 7 million round at a very good valuation with a preliminary prototype, and then start making even more sales. And in about 2 years, go to market with the first 10,000 units. We have a pretty solid team. I've been on a mission for security, digital democracy for all my life. Alexandre is based in Zurich, and he worked for Credit Suisse, for DHL as CISO at DHL Switzerland, and blockchain consultancy, has lots of experience as chief security officer. Our head of engineering has experience in hardware, military domain, firmware, worked in Switzerland for largest insurance company, and 2 years in Shenzhen. Opportunity is huge. Devices were 5 millimeter thin already in 2014. So there is a 2 millimeter thin real estate behind every phone waiting to be claimed by a killer application. And that's what we plan to do. So we'll have a device now that will have a translucent casing, which these 2 devices will be manufactured completely independently. The last weeks of assembly put back to back, so that the user will perceive as a phone with a magic ultra secure screen. In reality, there's going to be 2 separate devices with completely separate levels of security. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye to all of you guys around the world. Thank you.